She's still outside. She's not ready to come in yet. At some point in a couple minutes, I will have to get up and let Stella in. Everybody's had a good day so far. Mine's been pretty decent. I had a big chocolate chip muffin for breakfast. Took about an hour and a half nap. It would have been, yeah, about an hour and a half, maybe about 2 hours. Would have been nicer if it would have been about 3. Getting up to walk Stella early means I get up at about 6:50 or so every morning now. Oh, excuse me. Oh, those came out of nowhere. Who? Turn my light on here. Stays so humid out that my one cracked window stays foggy all day and I don't get as much light out of it. Ugh. So if any of you guys seen the World Championships Machamp plush, it is adorable and like ungodly wholesome. I need 10 of them. I really need to replay Black and White too. I think I restarted. Oh no, wait. I don't know if I let my niece or nephew restart that one. I'd have to check. I could always play them on my own time. If I can manage it before ZA, I want to play X or Y and then do a quick replay of Legends Arceus. And yes, it would be a ROM for Y. Oh, see if I get lucky enough to get this fella today. Excuse me. Oh. There's my pooch. Let's check this Omanyte real fast. Alright. Let me go let my dog in. I'll be back in a moment. Stella Marie. Stella Marie got her treat. I needed to blow my nose. Because sneezing does that to me sometimes. See my good boy. He just chilling out, relaxing on his bed. He's not been in his cat bed much. Of course, he might not like getting hit by the air conditioner. Pin, if I had space in here, I would move it over to the other window. But the Papasan chair is there and there's not space. Yes, I always have fossils for you, my dude. If I can make it to the end of stream today without him being shiny, I think he breaks my record. I don't remember the exact numbers for the second shiny Rattata or the Alolan Marowak, but I want to say they were between like 1500 and 1600. So I will not be streaming tomorrow. I work. But I will be back Saturday, so. There's a small part of me that wishes we had gotten black and white remakes. Just to see them in the new art style more than anything. I mean, they're good enough games. I actually would not mind just going back and replaying them as DS games. But they would be really good in just newer graphics. Not even like X and Y or Sword and X and Y. Not even Scarlet and Violet or like Sword and Shield graphics. I would take them almost in Let's Go BDSP graphics, but I would want them styled more like X and Y and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, I think. And then, of course, give the Pokemon, at least in battle, the metallic sheens and stuff. So they were shiny. That'd be fantastic. I am curious though to see what they would do with like a Legends for Gen 5. Because the simple choice would of course be making it about the war between the two princes and having the original form of Kyurem, Reshiram, and Zekrom there. And then them letting you choose which side you were on. I would love more detailed lore around so many things in the Pokemon fandom. Quit scratching that bug bite. Now, one bug bite I got the other night before we even left for the drive-in We did get bills paid today, which is nice. Dad's buddy had to go get some stuff for the... Hi! What is it, my baby? You wanting some loves? Alright, I got a free hand. I can scratch your back. I don't know if I'll be able to do much about your belly, but I can get your back in the top of your head and stuff. Did you not want to lay back down? How's here? Hold on. Let me check your bump. Still there, but not as big as it was. You got yourself a really good goose egg there, baby. Yeah. Yeah, you did. Hi. So, honey, you wouldn't fit in that chair. I hate to say it. Well, she would, but she'd be kind of squished. It's the bouncer slash rocker I have next to my desk here that I stole from my aunt's house. Yeah. You scratch that ear. Oh. No. Hi. Yeah. I don't know if I couldn't pull the camera out far enough to get you guys to look at my girl. Yeah, you're my good girl. You pain in my butt, but you're my good girl. You wanting some loves? And lay you down later and put some more baby powder on your belly. That really helped with your itchies. Yes, it did. Helped get rid of that rash from where you'd been scratching and rubbing it against the carpet. Yeah. She laid down. How does what work? Also, hello. Just reviving fossils until one of them is shiny. I have 100. I reset after every 100 and keep going. I don't know if I counted that one, but you'll have to forgive me. I'm leaned over scratching my dog's back while I do this. You can... I didn't? Okay, thank you. You can go into Cerulean Cave, and there is a spot where once a day you can get extras of fossils. Okay, no, I counted it. I counted it before it popped up. And you can go through and bring them here and revive them all. And they are a full odds hunt. But basically, I gather 100, I talk to him, revive 100 fossils. If I do not get the shiny, I reset. Do not save after you do any of the, after you do any reviving. If you look up John Stone's Shiny Professor Oak video for Gen 1, he tells you towards the end of the video where to get it. And you could also probably look up a map of Cerulean Cave and let's go and find the spot as well. Can I straighten up now? Are you good? You can land. I can't reach your belly! You rolled over! No, it is Cerulean Cave. It's the cave where you catch Mewtwo. Okay, I can barely reach your belly. It is the floor right after that floor where you can run around and pick up all the items. I'm gonna fall out of my chair. Stella. I will rub your belly with my foot. Hold on. Let me reposition myself so I can rub your belly with my foot so I fall out of my chair. You silly goose. Good Lord. All she wants in life is a good treat, the scraps off your plate, and her belly rub. You ham. You big old ham bone. The fossil you get is random, so you could get the helix fossil, the dome fossil, or an old amber. The cave with all the... Well, if you get a big enough chain in any cave, there's gonna be a bunch of chances. It is the cave you have to have defeated the Elite Four to get into. My leg's getting tired, you. Okay, you finished? Alright, she's done. She's gonna go lay back down under the bed now. Chances are an inevitability in this game because of chaining. I don't know, I didn't see a lot of chances in the cave, but it spawns Snorlax and like Lickitung, I think. Been abandoned. I say that like my cat's not a foot and a half away from me laying on the table. Pin, I gotta get you a little cat bed or something for in here. I think you'd like that. But if you watch John Stone's video, he also shows you how to date skip for this game and make it actually work. Yep. No problem. Oh, thank you for following. Game Freak will never give us anything as good as DJ G Rave. One of my favorite part of like going and watching people do their first playthroughs of Scarlet is and Violet is their reactions upon seeing DJ G Rave when they battle Rhyme. I don't know if Mama's gotten far enough to see DJ G Rave. I need to poke her and get her to actually at least finish the base story of Violet. Of course, she can't do the DLCs because she doesn't have the DLC. If I can save up the money for Christmas, that might be her Christmas present, is at least enough money for the DLC for Violet, or at least partial payment of Legend CA. I sent her $20 for the DLC last year, and I think she ended up using it on another game without realizing it. I've had so many little fossily dudes. Also, sadly, I did not manage to reach 10,000 Pokemon sent to Professor Oak in this. I got pretty close though. I was like to 9,800 something. I'd actually expected I might get that far with the Jinx hunt, but I got shiny Jinx fairly quickly. Well, I guess I might make it with the fossil hunts. It depends on just where the shiny falls within the 100 fossils I have for Omanyte and Kabuto, and the 50 I have for Aerodactyl. I laugh. One of the shorts I ran into today when I was just kind of messing around, wasting a little bit of time before stream, was talking about the characters that get eaten in the new in Jurassic World Rebirth. And he's like, this one character was supposed to die and he didn't. It's like, hallelujah, he didn't. I didn't want him to die anyways. Look, they could make a Jurassic World movie where the only character that gets eaten is whatever rich asshole is there being a rich asshole, and I would be very happy. Which one is the Helix fossil? That is Omanyte. Kabuto is Dome fossil, and Old Amber is Aerodactyl. Ah, you get the one you need? Nice. Yeah, Johnstone did, for his one video, did this, the Aerodactyl in, I want to say it was Omanyte hunt with just one fossil. And that man has so much patience. Yep, you gotta go to the fossil dude in Cinnabar. I think he's in the last room in the lab? Bottom-most building on the left side. If this were real life, he would be asking me so many questions. What if they have like restrictions on breeding fossil Pokemon in the Pokemon world? I would imagine no. Maybe? I mean, considering you can find them in the Crown Tundra. Well, you can find most of them in the Crown Tundra, and also in Blueberry Academy, which, yeah, there's got to be some breeding programs going on for fossil Pokemon there. At least in Blueberry Academy, not so much in Crown Tundra. love like a little documentary on the Crown Tundra, honestly. You're welcome. Mostly, I want to know how that works because tundras are on like the bottom of the world, or the top of the world in this case. You get tundras in like the Arctic and stuff. Of course, this is the Pokemon world where you have deserts next to, well, in places they don't really make sense, so it don't much matter. Brain's trying to real world logic video game logic. Like, trying to real world logic comic book logic. I do kind of wish you could mass revive fossil Pokemon. But I'm in it for the long haul, at least with Omanyte, Omastar. I will be hunting a second Omanyte in Sword and Shield. I still need to check which game that one's in. I still want to say it is Shield, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong. Do, do, do. Really have forgotten half the Black and White 2 music. We need a Pokemon orchestra. I know like Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy and stuff gets the concerts that go like around the US and Japan and other parts of the world. I don't know if Pokemon has done that. At least not like recently. That is definitely something though that they should definitely do. Not that it would ever come close enough for me to get to go see it. Happened once with the Welcome to Night Vale live shows. The one time they came close enough, I could probably have talked my dad into taking me down to go see it. I wasn't here. I went to visit a friend. A lot of them. I'm down to around needing about 200 shinies. That is a rough guess. I have not gone through and counted again recently. But 10 shinies short in Gen 1, not counting Mew, because the only way to get Mew is through Go right now, and I'm not in a good area for Pokemon Go. But it's the 5 fossils, Articuno, Moltres, and Mewtwo, and then Pinsir and Kangaskhan, which I'm gonna save the hunts for those for Legends EA. Because both Pinsir and Kangaskhan are in that one. Then I have every shiny Pokemon you can get from Scarlet and Violet, as well as Legends Arceus. And I have a small handful from like Sword and Shield. Yeah, Shiny Mewtwo is just resetting. Hello, George. Same with the legendary birds. I'm doing legendaries after I get all the fossils, because I'm kind of been going in Pokedex order. Oh, nice. I got all my EV exclusive Pokemon in other games except for Pinsir. Which, if I really wanted Pinsir, I could breed for it in Brilliant Diamond. That wouldn't be any trouble at all. But, seeing how we're only a couple months away from the new Legends game, I can wait. I think I ended up getting part of my EV exclusive Pokemon from Pokemon Go, and that, oh, excuse me, and then another part of them I ended up trading with a friend for. Which I will have to do that again, because I will need most of the pre-evolutions for earning the shiny Meltan in Pokemon Home. I've got a lot of hunting to do for Pokemon in Pokemon Home. I got lucky with Legends Arceus because I made a Alpha Living Dex. And then I got lucky with Scarlet and Violet because I only needed like 30 odd Pokemon because I'd caught so many of my shiny Pokemon in that game. But the rest of them with Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and Sword and Shield, I need a lot of Pokemon for those games. Gotta earn that shiny Manaphy and Keldeo. Shiny Keldeo's the one for Sword and Shield. I have so many legendaries to hunt. I'm both looking forward to and kind of dreading those. Because part of them will be soft resetting and part of them will be Dynamax adventures. I'm not horrible at Dynamax Adventures when it comes to some of the easier legendaries, but some of the harder ones are going to be a doozy. I remember watching so many people trying to get their shiny Zygarde in from the Dynamax Adventures. Austin John played the Power Rangers theme every time it went 100% mode when he was hunting for it. He set up his studio lights so they'd like turn green. That was funny. I need to check my count. Make sure I'm still mostly accurate. 21, I am accurate. Good. I do about 300 revivals a day. I will not be streaming tomorrow because I work, but I will be back Saturday. Generally, when my schedule is not wonky from work, I stream most days except for Wednesdays and Sundays. But when I have work, I swap out like Wednesdays for whatever day it is I work. Generally, Sunday is the only day I usually do not change. And it's not because I'm religious, it's just because it's Sunday. So that also kind of goes out of just whack whenever a new game comes out. Because then I'm streaming. I start stream earlier, I stream for longer, and generally I stream twice a day. Once during the day itself, and then I take a couple hours break to like do dinner and stuff, and then I'm back after dinner. Come on, dude. Where's my shiny tentacle monster? Well, I guess you can't really call like Omanyte's whiskers tentacles because I don't really know. Feelers. They're feelers. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Because he's not exactly a squid or a jellyfish. They're feelers. Hey dude, how did you get the first fossils to test your machine out with? Do you know about the spot in Cerulean Cave? I've been having a little chuckle at all the like emails and stuff and posts and stuff you're seeing from the Pokemon people right now. That's like, Mega Pokemon are coming back. It's like, Mega Pokemon have been coming back for 2 years, people. I know we're creeping closer to the ZA release date, and then we're a little under 2 weeks for this month's Pokemon Presents. But it's like, yes guys, we know Mega Pokemon are returning. I'm very much looking forward to the presents. I'm still desperately hoping we get to see new Pokemon forms, either convergent or regional. And also, it'll be nice to know if they're going to confirm ride Pokemon or not. Probably. It feels like ride Pokemon are going to be a thing that kind of sticks around because people seem to really enjoy it. Of course, I could be absolutely wrong, and next in Gen 10 we get a Pokemon for surfing and that's it. Don't do that to us, Game Freak, please. I get so fond of the ride Pokemon. Weirdeer is still my precious child. As well as Ursaluna, but the biggest problem with Ursaluna is that you can't make them run. They only run when they're getting close to an item. Otherwise, I would ride around on Ursaluna a lot. Sorry about that. Like I had a little wad of gunk in the back of my throat there. might. This is a might. This will depend on how I feel Saturday. But I might Saturday do 400 revivals and get up to 2,000. Yep, almost done with this first round of reviving. God, leak season is gonna be so ridiculous after this next direct. That has a little bit of like Mario feels to that tune right there. Need to replay Paper Mario sometime before my NSO Plus runs out. So I'll be going back to the regular $20 Nintendo Online this month in October. Oh, about 3 days after Legends EA comes out, actually. Ooh. I think I just double count. Ah, that's fine. I'm just counting the next one early. Come on, let me get this one at 1400. I don't know why, but I would love to get a shiny on just one of the hundreds. Alright, this should be... Oh, I miscounted out. That was the last one. Okay. Let me go and check the last handful of these real fast, just in case I had a moment and was not paying enough attention. I do that on occasion without realizing. I'm not going through all of them, I promise. Alright, that's enough. Close out and restart. The 7-star raid does go live this evening. So that'll be interesting. I've already been seeing people be like, here's a Pokemon build to take on this Pokemon. It's like, dude, you don't know the moves yet. I've been thinking about when the card shop simulator dropped earlier this year, later last year, whichever one it was. And Austin John's video where he's like, every time someone leave, he was saying have a it's something from a show. Basically, you know, have a good day, and then like the next 3 episodes when he changed the name of his store because he restarted, and he was still doing it. And he pauses after one and goes, "Wow, I really built up a habit of that really fast, didn't I?" It's like, yeah, a little bit, my dude. I kind of miss his video breakdowns. Of course, he mostly did that with Scarlet and Violet, I think. And that was just the, well, more for that reveal trailer than anything. That was still kind of such a fun video to watch. Like, look at this prosciutto. This is making me hungry. I love watching people react to trailers. It's so much fun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun. I don't know whose theme this is or battle music this is, but I have heard it before like half a dozen times, and I never remember it is from this game. This feels almost like anime magical girl transformation music or something. Let's see if we have an update on the campfire cooking manga. It's been a few months. Checked like 3 different manga websites, and all of them have the same thing, and it's like, guys, this chapter has literally been out for a year, and none of you have somehow finished translating it yet. I guess it's no big deal, but it's very weird because we keep getting 0.5, 0.6, 0.7 for the chapters, and it's like 3 extra pages, and it's like, what? Like, surely there are enough fans. I don't know. I miss the glory days of Manga Fox. That's actually how I read the Pokemon manga. At least the ones for Red Adventures, and then part of the yellow ones, and that was it. Need to reread the manga. Love how wild it is. Like, Legends Arceus probably comes is the most accurate in regards to the violence in the first in the manga. The anime gets pretty close, but none of them have yet had a Pokemon cut an Arbok in half, so the manga still wins. I am not kidding. The manga's a delight. Poor Red ends up at one point carrying so many Pokemon. There is not a 6 Pokemon limit in this. He ends up carrying so many Pokemon he can't put them on his belt anymore. His belt is like completely full. And that actually ends up how he ends up meeting Bill and getting registered for the boxes so he can put all his Pokemon away. I think this is the Melanedia music. And video restarted. I only had about an hour left of from where I listened yesterday, so I just looped it. Dun dun dun. Okay, not 100% accurate, but not like 100% wrong either. Looked at Dad yesterday afternoon. What do you want for dinner, Dad? No, I don't know. Whatever you want's fine. I was like, let's get pizza or something. Okay. And go through an hour and a half later. It's like, when do we want to run to the store? He goes, you still want pizza? And it's like, yeah, pizza's fine. He goes, give me a box of corn dogs. I want corn dogs tonight. It's like, okay, I'll get corn dogs. We can do corn dogs tonight. He goes, no, you can do your pizza. Like, Dad, I'll get corn dogs and then grab each of us a pizza so we have dinner for tomorrow night as well. Okay. You are a grown man. I am a grown woman. You can tell me what you want for dinner. Even if it's something like I don't like, I can feed myself. I promise. I don't always feed myself well, but I can feed myself. Let's face it, there are days when like just the best thing in the dang world is a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Or sometimes just peanut butter straight from the jar. Ooh. If I have extra money later this month, I might have to get the stuff to make me some edible cookie dough. It's been a while. Hi. I mean, you're welcome to join me. I never really mind company so long as you're not like spamming nonsense. I had one of those the other day. He was spamming like sound effects in chat and it's like, dude, what are you doing? Trying to get a purple Omanyte out of this dude. So far, I've not been successful. Should keep track of how many revivals it takes to do the 3 Pokemon I'm gonna hunt this way and see which one takes the longest. Because with this stuff, you never know. It might take you 3,000 revivals to get it. It might take you 1,500. It might take you 15. They pop in and say hello, they're alone, and then they leave. To find a stream and stay there. Wonder how many of them get offended by the delay between me seeing their message and saying hello back, and them seeing me see their message and say hello back. It's like 20 or 30 seconds, I think, to keep the stream, help the stream run smoothly. Because I keep my Twitch kind of open. Just for, because I get more of the beggars there I need to ban. But generally with YouTube, I do not. So I do not know the exact delay between me speaking and you guys hearing. I need to test that one day. Have someone say yes or something when, and then record the seconds between. Because I know Twitch isn't that far behind. It's like 5 or 10 seconds, I think. It's got a bit less of a delay than YouTube does. Take some time this evening and change my start and end stream overlays. Real fast. Snap, crackle, pop. Should use those as nicknames in some run eventually. Snap could be a fighting type, Crackle could be a fire type, and Pop could be an electric type. Or maybe a ground type. I do wonder if they're offended that I didn't go, hello! Ew. The only people I think I've ever done that with were friends. And pets. Because they're pets and eventually you baby talk pets even though you don't mean to. I wonder if his resurrection machine, if it has to be fossils. I mean, I know it probably couldn't be ashes. But would they be able to bring this dude, like, a Pokemon that died, like, 50 or 60 years before and him revive it? Assuming, of course, that Pokemon that die and are buried just don't turn into ghosts. Because I'm convinced that any canine in Paldea that dies and is buried turns into a Greaver. And we know the origin for at least most Phantup and Yamask seem to be people. And then Shuppet and Bayonets are abandoned toys. I think the Gaslight line are just frickin' poltergeists, basically. I know Frostlass are based off the Yuki-Onna. Oni? I think it's Yuki-Onna. Which are ladies who lead people to their deaths in the snow, I think? Do not quote me on that. It's been a while since I've read the legend. We need a ghost. Oh wait, do we have a ghost fairy? Is Screamtail a ghost fairy? It's not, isn't it? It's ghost. It's fairy psychic. It don't matter. We need an early game ghost fairy, or an earlier game ghost fairy. That would be fun. We also need a fairy type that is based off of the legends about not eating the food in the fairy realm. Not eating the food this Pokemon offers because it can either poison you or helps them, like, mind control you or something. That would be a really cool Pokemon, actually. Make that the fairy ghost. Once you eat like food it offers, it can siphon away your life force to feed itself. I would make so many Fakemon if I could draw. I don't have the patience to sit down and try learning again. Not that I was ever a uber good artist. I was okay. I was somehow one of the higher graded people in my art class. And when I had a moment of victory over it because I was surprised by it, my teacher, like, looked down on me for it. It was mostly about a end of the year test, I think. Like, the other students had to take it, and because my grade was high, not every other student, but most of the other students in my class had to take it. And I was one of like 2 or 3 people who got a high enough score I didn't, and it was like, yes! And she looked at me, she goes, I'll make you take this test if you don't chill out. I was like, okay. I'm sorry if you're being excited, my grade is good. I don't have any of my art from art class other than the very wonky cup we made when we did our pottery lesson towards the end of the year. I use it to hold pins. There was one student that did this very cool, I want to say they called it a monkey tail cup, or we called it a monkey tail cup. And it was, they'd like done almost perfect rings as the cup body, and they gave it a handle, and it was curled up. It was such a nice cup. My boyfriend made a bowl on accident. It ended up so wide. Then I went to help him get stuff together, and it was sitting on top of a bunch of other art, and before we could get it like positioned to where it would stay in the middle of all the stuff, it slid out and broke. I felt so bad. I'd offered him my cup, but I think I'd taken it home the day before. And like, I'm so sorry. Art class was fun though. I wish we'd had an art too. I might have taken it. But we also had a different teacher the next year, so. Shake it, honey. Another one down. I have to get up and turn the fan away. I'm a little cool. Mostly my legs. Whew. Let me get up and turn that fan away real fast. Provided I can crawl out of my chair. Much better. It's also nowhere near as hot in here since Dad put the vents on top of the house last fall. They're the little whirly birds you see on top of houses sometimes. They spin and they release like trapped air in your attic to help keep your main part of your house cooler. Doo-doo. You know, I could have swore in at least in the US version of Black and White 2, she was spelling Pokemon, which it is completely possible she might be in the US version and this is Japanese version. Might have to look it up. Can't exactly figure out what she's trying to spell here. I'll stop in a second and check and make sure I'm accurate on my count. But I do think I stood there in her gym for like 5 or 10 minutes when I first played Black 2? White 2? White 2, because I had the Forest City in the second game. Alright, I'm accurate. And just stood there and like listened to her sing because I thought it was so cool. Which is weird considering, I'd played Kingdom Hearts games by that point, and they had the freaking, when you walk away in the end credits of Chain of Memories, and, you know, the characters talked in those. And that was a Game Boy Advance game. Alright, all good here. Oops. It's always funny the weirdness you get when you compare video game franchises. Like, when it came to Pokemon games in the DS era, I didn't expect anywhere as much as I would for, say, a Kingdom Hearts game on the DS. Like, yes, we got to the point where you kind of got cutscenes and stuff, but Pokemon cutscenes are kind of bad. And I am thinking of like Diamond, Pearl, Platinum whenever like the stuff at Sphere Pillar goes down. It's so funny though, because you think about cutscenes in Sword and Shield. Like the one with your legendary dog. When it turns around to face you and they don't even bother to actually properly animate it turning. It is legit just a 360 spin of the model. One of those things like, come on, Game Freak, put in a little bit more effort here. Do I expect uber super duper Kingdom Hearts for realistic level graphics from Pokemon? No. It's like, at least put a smidge more effort here into your cutscenes, guys. Come on. Of course, most shows I watch when someone hands you an item, most cutscenes I watch where like someone gives you an item that's like a potion or a TM or something that's always an invisible item. Even in other games, here, take this, and it's an invisible item. It's like, you guys, you could stick in like the little item box or something. We do generally know what those are. I could see not doing it as much for Pokemon because they use the Pokeball icon to represent an item on the ground. I mean, we're lucky we got Arvin feeding Mabosstiff part of a sandwich in Scarlet and Violet instead of him holding an invisible one for the poor pooch to take a bite out of. I am eager to see what improvements they will make with the Switch 2. And I am a firm believer that if it's getting to the point where Game Freak does not want to have Pokemon as its singular focus, that they should totally poke another company and be like, or poke the Pokemon company and be like, hey, can we team up and do Pokemon games with a different company? Because as much as people complain about Ilka and BDSP was not that bad. Could it have been better? Yes, but I kind of enjoyed the chibi style and stuff. And this is coming from half the fandom that's like, oh, if they change anything major in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, aka we want Pokemon Platinum, I'm gonna be mad. You would not believe how many the 3 or 4 friends I've had that are like, if they change anything, if we can't find this Pokemon, it's like, guys, chill, it's a remake. Or more accurately, a remaster, more or less. And as mad as the, not having proper secret bases and stuff in the underground when you guys will live, how are you going to blow away a smoke or fire trap when there's no microphone? I kind of enjoyed Brilliant Diamond more than I did playing Diamond originally. Look, I'm not gonna lie, my least favorite Pokemon games are Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, mostly because I played through Sapphire a bazillion and one times between Pokemon games. And the Gen 4 games. And that's mostly because I tried to, like, 100% the Pokedex in Platinum before beating Platinum. So they were both completely my own fault, but it's like, guys, chill. Like, when we eventually get the black and white remake, it's like, I do not need a completely new, super ultra 3D, whatever generation version of that game, as much as that would be nice. I would be perfectly happy with more or less just the same game with the graphics update. Make everything look really pretty. Come on, would one of you be shiny, please? I need those purple fillers. I've had one friend mad that she could not do like multiple versions of X and Y on one system, and it was like, honey, calm down. People can be kind of weird. I mean, I can be weird about Pokemon as well. Everybody's weird about something. But she was so mad that Mega Evolutions didn't return past Gen 7. Like, honey, like, go replay the games. But she didn't want to restart her games and get rid of her other Pokemon. It's like, okay. And at this point, this was before the online stuff for the DS and 3DS had shut down. And I was like, well, do you want to trade your Pokemon from your team over to me, and I'll trade them back to you so you can keep them? And she's like, no, I want to be able to do multiple. It's like, I can't help you. You either need to get an emulator or you need to get multiple DSs in multiple games. Honey. Of course, now she has a Switch, so she can do as many save files as she wants. Mm-hmm. Bless her, she's so picky. She was so mad that Miraidon and Koraidon were shiny locked because she wanted to do a game with Koraidon and Miraidon in her team, but she wanted them shiny. It's like, honey, it's like you gotta wait. They'll do a Koraidon and Miraidon shiny event eventually. You just gotta be patient. Nope. I was one behind. Alright. Hopefully, eventually, we get some form of a bunch of the past games on the Switch 2. So she can have all the save files she wants. I only have 3 characters on my game legit because I started a second account for just playing games over again when I didn't want to delete them on my main account. And then my friend logged into that one. And then it was like, okay, well now I need another side account because my friend has taken over my first side account. Alright, I have 100 chances in 4,000 and something, 104,000 something odds to get this shiny this last time. It's not the best odds, but it's odds. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Hiccups. Ugh. Ooh, your stitches. I love it when you get one of those itches and you like scratch it against the side of a table or up against the like leg of your chair, or on occasion if it's one on the bottom of your foot and you have the right kind of carpet, you just drag your foot along the carpet. Stella does that when her butt itches. And Dad looked at me the first couple of times and he's like, do we need to deworm her? It's like, no, she's fine. He goes, but she's scooting. It's like, her butt itches. And she does that on occasion when her glands need cleaned out as well. They start getting irritated, and that's when I know it's time to take her back to the groomers. And then for a day or so too after that, because her glands were expressed and they're annoying her because they were expressed, she'll scoot too, and it's like you scoot about. Of course, Dad laughs when her belly itches and she just drops her belly to the ground and drags herself across the floor on her front feet. He laughs because he says it makes her look like her back legs are broken. Like, well, if they ever were, I should hope between the two of us we might be crafty enough to build her a wheelchair. Or wheel the wheels they do for dogs whose back legs don't work. I had a dog when I was little who got hit by a car and it messed up his back, so he did the back leg drag for a while as his back was healing. And he walked kind of limpy, but he regained the ability to walk, and he sired like 4 or 5 litters of puppies, so he was good. But I can remember riding in the car with him. His mom took me to school, and then she took him to the vets to get him looked over and stuff. And he got to sleep in the garage, and we fixed him a good bed and whatnot, because the doctor said, he shouldn't be outside for a while until he was better. I think he got to spend a few days in the house. And then Dad set him up with a heater in the garage. Because Dad's workshop was out in the garage. He had all of his tools and stuff and spent a good amount of time when he was home out there. And we went and kept him company. He was a good boy. Old age got him. Then at one point in time we had a pair of I don't quite know if they were cattle dogs. They were border collie blue heeler mixes. And they ended up going to a new family when we moved, who had a bunch of land and stuff they could run on. And it wasn't, any fault of their own or any fault of ours. It was just when we moved, we were in an area where we could take them, but we worried about them roaming. When we lived in town, they were actually kind of homebodies when they weren't like tied up or in a pen, so they stayed relatively around the house. But we moved up to a mountain, and Dad was worried that if they got loose, they would go after coyotes or something. So we had a buddy who had a bunch of land and some cattle and stuff, and he took them over there, and they got a new home. They're pretty dogs. Not that my other baby isn't pretty. Give you 5 more years and I'll be carrying you around on a walk. Yeah, she'd be 14 or 15 by then. I think she's 9 or 10 this year. My baby, I'm getting old. Forget her getting old. I'm getting old. She's curled up half under the bed. She don't care. I could shout obscenities at her and she'd just give me an okay mom look and lay back down. I had a moment where I glanced away from one of these earlier ones. Just want to double check real fast. Alright, I didn't think any were shiny, but it doesn't hurt to double check. Oops, I did that a minute ago too. There we go. Oh, I heard the baby move. The other baby's just been a bump on a log for the past 3.5 hours. He loves laying on this table up against the desk. That's where he spends 70% of his sleeping time right now, is on this table. Okay, maybe not 70% because he goes into like the kitchen and stuff at night, but he spends a good portion of it there. Over to the evil scientist music again. There's gotta be chorus music. Yes, I have a helix fossil for you. Do 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 do. Do do. Have so many fossils for you, dude. I so desperately want a Journey to the Center of the Earth area in like Pokemon. And I feel like we could have had that in the lower depths of Area Zero, but we didn't. It was more or less just a big windy trail going down. Which I'm not saying we needed another big humongous cave, but at least getting to the bottom and having it be a bit more of a wide open cavern we got to go in. And then go down, you know, that final trail and find Terapagos would have been awesome. Look, I'm always going to be a little bitter we couldn't shiny hunt the legendary, or the past paradox beasts, or the future paradox swords. Because I was hoping we'd be able to. I was looking forward to it. We should be getting those raids again, either here in the next couple of weeks or when Worlds rolls around. I am so kind of worried about Worlds this year, just given how everything's going. Hopefully everything is okay. It is in California, and California doesn't seem to be as crazy as some other places are right now, but hopefully everything will be okay. Saw a video earlier. It was a short, and it's talking about this Journeys episode, I think, where Ash catches a Beedrill. Well, he catches a Kakuna, and after he catches it, it evolves. So he's holding this Beedrill like it is a baby. And one of the comments in this video was like, I thought Ash wasn't in the anime anymore. And it's like, honey, just because he's not in the anime anymore doesn't mean he has ceased to exist in the 1,000 and some odd episodes before Horizons. I am curious to see if they will keep Liko, Roy, Dot, and whatever the new character's name is. I apologize, I do not know. If they will keep them as the main characters when Gen 10 rolls around, or if they will swap out for new characters. And start having each generation have their own main characters, which could be fun. I mean, they're not doing movies anymore, apparently, to have to revolve around main characters, so. So honestly, I think when it comes to movies, that would be the one thing I would very much like them to keep Ash in, at least a little bit. Like, The Power of Us and Secrets of the Jungle? The Zarude movie. Were a little bit about Ash, but mostly about the other characters. In Power of Us, you get the 1, 2, 3, 4 other characters. Margot. No, 5. The one girl who catches the Eevee, the doctor, the braggart, and the old lady. Yeah. You get those 5 characters, and you get their stories and whatnot, and Ash helps out through that. But he's obviously not the number 1 main character. And then, of course, in Secrets of the Jungle, Heart of the Zarude movie, I don't know why I can't remember its name at the moment, you get equally as much time with Coco and him trying to figure out his kind of place in the world, because he is a human raised by a Pokemon. As you do, Ash helping him try to figure it out. So I would like to think that if they made another Pokemon movie, which they might at this point, I don't know, they haven't made one in like 3 years, and it used to be a yearly thing, but I would like to think they might keep up that pattern of including Ash as a, not quite a side character, but yes, also kind of a side character, more helping out the more main character or characters. I need to rewatch Power of Us. I need to rewatch the Pokemon 2000 as well. I just need to sit down and rewatch a bunch of Pokemon movies. Should poke that one website and see if it'll cooperate. I like watching them subbed. I don't mind dubbed, but I do enjoy watching them subbed. But a thing I would like to see in ZA is, because we're part of the team that's supposed to be helping renovate Lumiose, I think? While also taking part in the tournament at night, of course. I would love to see, as you continue on in the game and you, like, get up in rank and stuff, that the, areas where the Pokemon can live and stuff get, like, more sophisticated. Maybe not necessarily bigger or anything, but you go back to an area that was light on trees and stuff before, and there's more trees and whatnot, or they're at least bigger. You know, it's something to give us kind of a sense of time going by. So I'm still curious to see if we will have underground sections, because it seems hinted that we might. It would actually also kind of make sense. Because I know the Go-Goat episode of Poketoon seems to imply that there are... I don't know if it's like a big sewage system or cave systems or what, but there's some sort of big system underneath Lumios. Which I would love to see them have 3 or 4 big kind of underground cave areas. Just for more space for the Pokemon. That would be interesting. Kind of like how you, we didn't get the sewers until we got the Black and White 2. Alright, that's half of the fossils down, half of them to go. Still think Gothita and Gothitelle and them need a Mel line equivalent. Or at least a Mel evolution. I mean, come on, Curlia got one, and Gallade, if I'm not mistaken. No, Glade was how we were pronouncing it at first, because it looked like it would have had a fancy pronunciation. Time someone comes in and they're doing the awoo talk, I should awoo talk back to them. But I've still got like 45 chances to get this shiny. Having one of those days where I'm feeling like if I could just get a really good stretch in that would pop like half my bones, I would feel fantastic. Excuse me. I'll get to 60 and check my numbers. Do do do. Do 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 do. I laughed though. Me and Dad were talking about our trip to the drive-in yesterday afternoon. And he's like, yeah, if we go back, we gotta get some different chairs for us. It's like, yeah. Like, these chairs aren't near as comfy as I remember them being. Of course, I probably could have fixed some of that if I'd have stood up and seen if I could pull that chair apart any further. It also might have been because we were kind of on a slope. But I spent about the last half of the movie just bent forward with my elbows on my knees, watching it that way. Okay, I am currently accurate. Do 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 do. I feel like eventually in Pokemon we're gonna get an item that will be like a coverall alternate evolution item. Like, you can give your Cubone this item to hold, and instead of evolving into regular Marowak, it'll evolve into a Alolan Marowak. Or same with the Pikachu, you can give your Pikachu this item to hold and use a Thunderstone on it, and it will turn into an Alolan Pikachu instead. Same would be for like Mime Jr. Give it this item and it evolves into a Galarian Mr. Mime. I don't know what particularly this item would be, but it would be neat. It would not, of course, work for any Pokemon that's entire line is a Galarian species or a Alolan species. Alolan Vulpix, Alolan Corsola, Alolan Farfetch'd. Galarian Farfetch'd and Corsola. That one was blue, wasn't it? I know what happens is for some reason I glance over at my count and my brain goes, oh, it's shiny for 2 seconds before it's like, no, it's not. Yes, I will be checking this Omanyte in a moment because I glanced away and my brain had a spasm. Okay, it was. Like I said, I don't know why I saw it and my brain went purple. Actually, no. You know, now that I think about it, if Game Freak really wanted to, like, delight a bunch of Pokemon fans, they would take a couple of characters from, like, Colosseum. I'm thinking of Mirror B when I say this, and stick him in Legends EA. From when you fight the one fashion show gym leader. I don't remember her name. I want to say Elena, but that might not be right. She's electric type gym leader. All that hay, my dude. Whose theme is this? Whoop. Hold on. Oh, it's not going to tell me, is it? Is there a list of timestamps? 59. 47. Join Avenue? Oh, 58. Nimbasa City Runway. Okay, there we go. No. Trainer's eyes meet beauty. No, it's gotta be the runway. Sorry, I had to pause that so I could get a timestamp. Okay, this has gotta be the beauty music. Probably is the Excuse me? Come on, get the thing off. Hold on, my thing was being stubborn. I'm sad we kind of get these now, but they're mostly for like gym leaders and stuff, because we get the and whatnot now, and then but we don't really get that in Area Zero because it takes the lyrics out for Area Zero. God, Area Zero music is so good. I don't know if there's ever well, there will be eventually, but for right now, like, Area Zero is top tier Pokemon music. It's like the best Pokemon music in my album. By swirly clouds all the time. Of course, I know a bunch of that has to do with the crystals. Game Freak! Well, not Game Freak. Pokemon Company, we need a miniseries about Heath's descent into Area Zero, please. It doesn't have to be anything super duper concrete or like super in depth. I would take a 3-episode miniseries about Heath and his team in Area Zero. Give us an episode when they go down, when they glimpse the Iron Tusk. The Great Tusk Iron Treads, depending on which game they'd want to set it in. Give us one where they find maybe the one cave, and then at least one in the depths, where they meet Sara/Turo. Okay, maybe make it 4 episodes, just so they can stretch it out a bit. But also, I want to know where this apparently jungly, tree-filled area of Area Zero is, where they supposedly took that picture of the Donphan / Great Tusk / Iron Treads. Because it did not look like any of the areas where we had in Area Zero ourselves. Of course, that was 150 or so years ago. For all we know, there was some tree cutting and stuff going on when they built the stations. So they would have had to have cleared the way enough to be able to get, like, stuff down there to build all that stuff. Oh, shake it, honey. Whenever I say that, she's shaking her head. Yeah, I get your belly with some more baby powder later. Provided she don't run away like a coward whenever I pick up the thing. Oh god, mother picked up a thing. She's gonna baby powder slash baby oil slash do something to my belly to help me stop itching. I put so much baby powder on her belly the other night on accident. Because I'd been doing it in little poofs. Because the air conditioner was on, and almost no matter where we were sitting in the living room, it was blowing some of the powder away. And the air conditioner kicked off for a few minutes, and it's like, yes! And I did this big poof at all of her. There was so much of it. Her belly was like entirely white. I had to get up and get a rag and wipe most of it off. It was so funny. My Pokeball is all twisted. There we go. Alright, should be about 13 left. Provided I'm not slightly off count, which on occasion I am. See if any of these last handful are the lucky Omanyte. It'd be kinda nice. And I could start a Saturday stream just straight up Omanyte hunting in Sword and Shield. Come on, bring me some luck. No luck. Of course, I expect at least 2 of these 3 hunts to just take super long, and then like one of them's gonna be really stupidly quick, possibly. Which is kind of how the algorithm in this game seems to roll. You get the one Pokemon that takes 500 encounters for you to get the shiny, and then you get the one Pokemon that takes 20. Alright, 5 to go after this one. It's Resurrection! Like with the cord on my, Joy-Con. I'm a child. Alright. No shiny there either. I'm not gonna lie, I missed the controller. The proper controller. The Joy-Con's not bad, but it does kind of make my wrist ache after a while. Of course, I'm not as mobile hunting these. These I don't have to fling my Joy-Con around to throw Pokeballs at the Pokemon. It's probably more what it is than anything else. Alright, 2 to go. Provided I'm not one off in my count, which seems to be about as much as I get for being off on count in this. I think it was off 2 yesterday at one point, but that's about it, which isn't bad. Okay. Should be one more. Oh, nope, I was 1 off again. Nope. And we're not doing dumb fossils yet. And that is it for Helix Fossils for today. I will be back Saturday to do another 300 or 400, depending on how I feel, because I would kind of like to get that to 2,000. But that'll be it for today. I will see you guys Saturday. I work tomorrow, so I won't be streaming. I hope you guys have the rest of your guys' day goes well, even if it's just a little bit. If you're into evening, I hope you have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Saturday. Bye-bye.